Alright, good morning everyone. I hope everyone is having a good weekend so far. Before I get started, I would like to give a big shout out to my nephew, William, who I know is going to be watching this. So William, I hope you enjoy this LEGO build. So as I mentioned previously, if you've seen any of my previous LEGO streams, this is all about supporting Sick Kids Hospital through Extra Life. Which is a wonderful charity. If you feel in the need to or the desire to help support it, you can use the donation button down below in the channel about information, or you can always use the donation link that will be showing up in chat at various points through the stream. With that, we're not going to start building the airship just yet. I did actually get a couple of other power-up kits first. So that's where we're actually going to start, and we're going to start with the Honeybee Suit. So I believe that this came from Super Mario Galaxy 2, but I'm not 100% sure. But we're going to say that that's where it's from for the moment, just because I believe that's where it came from. All right, so we're going to start by opening up the package, tossing the garbage. And we are going to start with the single blue piece. And we are going to put both green pieces attached to that with 4 bits in the center. We are going to put the brown circular piece in the middle here, just like that. And we're going to put the barrel cap on top of that, like so. Then we are going to build 2 flowers, which is easy enough of taking the leaves and sticking some flowers in them. Oh, that one's upside down. All right, get there. There we go. So now we have some flowers. And then those will be decoration pieces that we will put on the platform that has what I'm going to call a barrel for now. And then we are going to stick the honeybee helmet in the center of that one there. And we're going to take 2 of these brown buttons, and we're going to stick them on the front of Mario's pants. And then those will go right on to the other platform. And then we're done with that one. So now, just to show that off, we're just going to quickly bring Mario here. We're going to take his pants off. I know. And we're going to put the honeybee outfit on him. Just like so. And there we go. We've got a honeybee Mario. Alright, so let's take the honeybee helmet off. And we're going to put him back in his regular pants for a second, because we have now completed the first power-up set. Alright, we're going to put that one off to the side. And we're going to start the other one, which is actually one of my favorites, which also comes from Super Mario 3, which is where we first started with, where the airship first started. And this one we're going to be doing is the frog suit. So if anyone remembers the frog suit at all, that one was all about making it easier for you to travel underwater. So, again, we're going to start with the blue piece, and we're going to add 2 blue ones on each side this time. I'm assuming that's to follow through on the underwater scene. Only this time we're going to be putting bricks instead of a barrel. So we're going to end up with a brick like that. And we're going to take these 2 green lily pads, and we're going to put them on either side of the brick. Just like so. There we go. We've got 2 lily pads there. And then we'll take this frog helmet and we'll stick it in the middle of that brick. And then much like the other one, we're going to take the green pants here and we are going to stick a couple of green buttons on. Just like so. And then that will go right on there. And what we're actually going to do, same thing as before. Let's just try out this outfit on Mario and see how it looks. So once again, we're going to take his pants off. I know, I should have warned people that this stream is getting a little racy. And now we have, just like that, a Frog Suit Mario. Alright, so we've had fun with some various power-up suits for Mario. So now Mario's going to say goodbye. We're going to put him aside for the moment, and we are going to dive into this airship. Now, this is going to be a much larger one than anything else we've done thus far. If you have seen any of my others, we have done things such as Boo's Haunted Yard and the Guarded Castle, which are about a little over 400 pieces each. Bowser's Airship is close to 1,200 pieces, so it's about 3 times the size of what we've normally done. So we're going to see just how well this is going to work for us. So we're going to start with bag number 1, which, if I can find it here, bag number 1, right here. So we're going to open this bag up, and I really appreciate that they include one of these for being able to get pieces off when I make mistakes. Alright, so we're going to dump all of those pieces, put the plastic in the garbage, and we're going to start by finding the feet in one of these pieces. And we're going to put another one on the other side. And I believe, just by seeing some of the pieces we have here, that we are going to end up building ourselves a Monty Mole. Which, if anyone has played Super Mario 3, you will know that the Monty Moles hide in underneath various sewer cap type things, and they pop out and throw wrenches at Mario. So we are going to keep going here. Alright, so we need one of these pieces on that one there. And this is going to go on the one side like so. And then we put one on the other side like that. So you can see how he's being built out now. And then we're going to take this flat piece and we're going to put it over top of him. Just like so. And that completes our covered Monty Mole. And now we will bring Mario in. We will scan him. And that set has been added. And as you can see, we now have a whole bunch more for us to build. There are only 5 steps, so hopefully this won't take us too long, because I want this to remain interesting. So we're going to take Monty Mole, and we're going to just put him up over at the top here. Okay, so let's get into the next build, which looks as though we're doing Kamek next. If you know him at all, he's a Magic Koopa. He's always flying on a broomstick and causing trouble, so we are going to open up bag number 2 now. And dump all of those pieces out. And we have another bag inside that we will open as well. I think that if I were to be honest, Super Mario 3 was one of my more favorite ones that I have seen. And or played, I should say, on top of that. I think it was just one of those that really sort of had some new ideas about things. Okay, so how we're going to start things off. We are going to take this blue piece here, and to it we're going to add one of these triangle ones. Just like so. And we're going to take one of these to fill out the rest of that. I know in the past my son has helped me with some of this. He is currently having fun with his mom and his cousins. And he had indicated he wasn't as interested in building this one, so I thought that this was a perfect opportunity for me to do this all in one setting. While allowing other people to join in on the fun. So we need this yellow one there. So you can start to see that we're building this out. I'm not exactly sure how this is going to look like chemic at this point in time, but we will see as we go along. So we've got those two yellow pieces there. And we need two of these yellow arms because we are going to add them into the blue holes on either side here. I wish I could pick that one up a little bit easier. All right, there we go. Next, we are going to add a yellow piece that looks as though it's going to come down as a face. As soon as I find it here, there we are. And then we're also going to add a white piece like this right here, which I'm assuming is setting us up for putting a hat on. Next, we need one of these. And this one is going to go on the bottom. And the reason we know that is that there are some Koopa fangs there. And we are looking for another one that's going to go on the top. But I'm having trouble seeing it here. Don't think anything of that. There we go. Found it. Okay, so we'll put that up top there. So we got the fangs on the bottom one, nostrils on the top one. And then we're going to take two yellow flat circles here and put them in as the cheeks, as we have with many of the other Koopas. And then we are going to take this black one here, and we're going to put a yellow something. Yeah, we'll go with that. This guy here. And we're going to put him right in there like so. And then we're going to take two of these black ones with what looks like glass on the front. I'm assuming these are going to be his glasses. And we're going to stick that right in the middle here. Oh, look at that. We totally have those eyes. So we're going to flip him over. We're going to add his red boots on, as well as the, not that one, but this one, the little barcode that Mario will scan when he jumps on him. And then we are going to take this white piece here, put the circular one with a middle on the top of it. And then that we are going to put right in the top there by his head. We're going to put this white circular one around it. We're going to put one of these blue pole-like rods in the top of that hat. And then we're going to top that off by putting this blue top in here like so, which is going to give us our wizard's hat. Okay, next we're just going to set him down for a second, and we're going to take one of these yellow cone-shaped ones and put a little red dot underneath. And then we're going to take one of these yellow rods, oops, and we're going to put it into that cone piece, which looks like we're making a magic wand, which we are totally doing. And we are going to put that magic wand into one of his hands. If you've ever played any of the Marios with Kamek in it, he uses that wand to shoot either magical bolts at Mario, or he will also use them to transform things. Okay. So we're going to just leave him at the side here, because I don't think we are quite done with him. And what we're going to do next is move on to the next piece, which looks like we're going to make his broom, because Kamek always flies on a magic broom. So we're going to start with one of these gray pieces, and we are going to add this clear one on top, which will give the illusion that Kamek is flying. Actually, I've got that backwards because it looks as though we're going to put two of them mounted in the center, which gives us a centerpiece to actually mount him on top of. Put that black piece there. And then we'll set that aside. We will grab this piece here. And we are going to put this broomstick barcode on the middle there, which I'm wondering if that's going to give Mario the ability to fly on a broomstick at some point. We will fill either side with those two pieces. And then we're going to put these circular coverings on the top of those. And then in the one side, we will put a black connector. And the other side, we will put this dual-sided connector that has one of those star pieces in it. And then we are going to add one of these small circular ones onto this side, like so. On the other side, we're going to take this yellow star piece and put it right down to the end. And then we're going to take this barrel, and we're going to put the barrel all the way on the end here, just like that. We will then mount the broom onto our stand. And we are done with the broom. Alright, moving on. So, at this point, I think we can safely say that we can put Kamek on his broom. And now we have a flying broom for Kamek. I'm going to put him over by our Monty Mole at this point, since we are done with that. And it looks as though we are moving on to what will be the cannon. And for those who are unfamiliar with what the cannon is used for, the cannon will be used to allow Mario to fire himself up to the airship for the way in which the airship level would start. So I'm going to start with this piece here. And we are going to put this black triangular piece on it. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. We're going to add 2 star-shaped black rods onto either side. And then we will mount these on top of that. In the center, we will put the barcode for the cannon. And then on the one side, we are going to add one of those pieces, as well as one of these caps, by the looks of it. And then we will do the same on the other side. Okay, we're going to set that aside for a minute. And we're going to take the grass area. Sorry about that, just needed a quick second for a quick drink, because talking was leaving my mouth dry a little bit. Okay, so we've got 2 yellow triangle pieces on either side of the grass. And we are going to mount our Canon base on either side of it, just like that. So now we've got something that will turn. We're going to add a couple of gray single squares on the one side here. And then we will put more of an enclosure around the knobs that allow us to turn the cannon. And we're going to repeat the same thing on the other side as we build up that enclosure. You can see how that's coming along now. Putting a single yellow piece right at the very top of each side. And then we are going to take these black pieces here, and we're going to put them on either side of that barcode to give us a circular base now. And then we're going to take this big black, what would look like a warp pipe, but I'm assuming it's going to be a cannon. And there you have it. We have our rotating cannon. All right, we are moving right along. So I'm going to put the cannon over beside Chemic and our Monty Mole. I'm going to gather up these extra pieces, which I am keeping off to the side here. We'll put them away if we need them for later. And we're going to move on to stage 3. So, it looks as though we are going to need package number 3, I bet, for this. Oh, look at that. Package number 3. All right, so let's keep these aside for the moment. Bring package number 3 over. Open that up. And let's carefully take all of these pieces out. Just like so. Okay. So, now, just going to spread them out a little bit so that we can start to look at what we have here when we start to do our build. So, we are going to need these feet first, and one of these square pieces. If you didn't notice there, it looks as though we are going to be building a pirate Goomba, which is super exciting. We don't have one of those yet, so it's always nice to get a bunch of new enemies, which is... So in addition to the fact that I love the concept of the airship, I also really enjoy the fact that this set includes a whole bunch of enemies that I have not acquired yet, so having a bunch of enemies that we don't already have is super fun. Alright, so we're going to make 2 of these panels, which I'm going to assume are going to be the Goomba side pieces. That's usually how they work. Yep, so then we are going to put them on either side of our Goomba, just like so. So now you can see how he's coming together. And then we need our Goomba face piece, because no Goomba is complete without his face. We are going to put his barcode, and you'll notice specifically we are looking for the one that has a little Goomba logo on it. It's really fuzzy. I wish I had an autofocus on this camera, but I don't, unfortunately. So trust me when I say that that is the Goomba barcode. And then we are going to cover that with a hat, which we actually have to build, which is kind of neat. So we're going to take our black square, and we are going to put this piece on upside down. We're going to put another one on the other side. And then we're going to take these black pieces here. And this, I think, is going to give us the curled up look of a pirate's hat from the other side. As it does. That's neat. We're going to take this black circular reverse piece, and we're going to put it into the center of the top of the hat. We're going to take our Bowser logo, and we're going to put it on the front there, just like that. And then this is just going to sit on top of that hat, or on top of his head. So now we get this nice, cool looking pirate Goomba. Awesome. Alright, this is working out really well for us. Okay, so we are going to put the Goomba over with Kamek and our Monty Mole and our Canon at this point, because we are just trucking right along on this. So, I believe by the looks of this, we are going to be building one of the masts at this point. So we're going to start with one of these pieces. We're going to add our big platform piece onto it. Then we'll add the other piece on the other side, just like that. Flipping it over, we'll put the big gray section right in the middle. And then we'll set that aside for a moment. And we're going to grab this black piece, and we're going to stick a couple of these connectors in either side of it. Just like that. We are going to put a mast platform on the top of this guy here, followed by what looks like a plank piece. We will add 2 of these pieces into those connectors, just like that. And then we're going to put this dead center in the middle of that piece. So I have no idea what this is going to end up looking like. Oh, it's going to have a mast on top of it. That's what it's going to have. Okay. So we're going to start with this platform piece, and we're going to put this gray mast post, a mast base, and then we will start to build up from the foundation of our, from the foundation to the top of the mast. Okay. Sorry, just needed a second there. we are going to take this star piece and we're going to put it down through the middle there, just like that. And now we are going to set that for a second, and we're going to build a couple of connectors here. Sorry, these star connectors into this brown. I'm assuming it's going to be our mast piece. We're going to take this connector here and put it through like so, as well as put another mast piece on the other side. And then we're going to use a red connector with another mast piece. Going the other way, we are going to take what looks like a lookout at the top and put the bucket up top there, along with another mast piece here, a red connector, and yet another mast piece on top. And we're going to do one more red connector up top there with a little cylinder at the very top of our mast. We're going to take this and put that all into the base, forming our crow's nest, if I have that term right for a ship. And that piece is complete. So next, we're going to build two. I'm going to assume, just from the limited knowledge I have on how airships work, that these are going to be the propellers that will make it so that the airship can fly. So I believe there are a couple of masts, and each mast has a couple of propellers, which is what gives it the ability to fly. So I'm going to use these neat little sort of triangular rounded single pieces in the middle there. And I'm assuming that this is going to be sort of the outside of the blade. Just going to use a couple of these pieces, triangular-ish pieces, to form the base of the blade. And then on the other side, we will add one of those pieces like so. And that is one. We will move on and do the other one now. So again, we're just going to do the outside circular pieces, followed by the inner rounded circular pieces, which will form us a blade section of our propeller. We're going to take the two triangular-ish pieces that forms the base of the blade, and then once again we will add one of these pieces that has a connector on it. And then once we're done with those, we're going to bring back our mast, and we're going to put these blades on either side, just like that, which will now allow us to spin, and hence our airship can fly. Okay, this whole piece is now going to come and sit on our main platform. And I'm assuming the idea being that Mario can jump on this piece here and knock down this propeller section of the airship. All right, we are done with that piece. We are moving right along on this. So we are going to set the propeller aside. As with everything else, I will take the last two extra pieces, put those in our extra piece pile, and we will move on to the next package. So it looks as though we're going to need bag number 4 for this one. Just wait for that to load and be sure. Oh, look at that. Yep, it's bag number 4. So we're going to bring bag number 4 over here. We're going to open it up. as though there's a couple of other smaller bags inside. I'll just carefully dump out these pieces so that we don't lose any. I'll continue to load the garbage pail beside me with all of these spare plastic bags, which I will take care of once we're done building all of this. Alright, we got a lot of pieces to work with here. So we're going to start with this and one of these 8-piece ones here. And we need a black one that's the same, just like this. It looked as though we were building a, like, Bowser Claw, perhaps, for this. I'm assuming that is something that will potentially have the ability to grab Mario. So we're just going to keep adding the pieces as they are showing up in the instructions. And if you aren't aware of how I'm accomplishing this, what I have happening here is I'm actually using my phone where the instructions app is. And I'm actually just sort of screen sharing it to my computer, which is what allows everyone to see the instructions at the same time that I'm building things. So now we got that gray piece on there, which has some connector spots. And we'll keep building up this base. So we're going to need one of those there, and another one on the other side. And we need a square piece. Actually, we'll take that little one while we see it. And I see the other one is right here. So now you can see how we're building out a base here, and there's a barcode there for what looks like it's going to be our Bowser Claw. Alright, we need a lot more of those square pieces next, and we're going to fill this entire top side here with a whole bunch of these. Just like that. Alright, we're going to make 3, we'll call them finger claws. So we need one of these pieces. We need one of these blue star, goes into the one side, connector on the other. And then we need a red connector, just like that. We are going to put one of these gold caps on that. And then we're going to take one of these spiked pieces, if I can pick them up. And we're going to put it right on the end there, which is going to be our pointy claw. And we're going to build that 3 more times. So let's go and build that 3 more times. We need this one, just like so. We need our red star connector, which goes into one of these golden top finger pieces. And another pointy claw piece. And then we will do that 1 more time. So I'm just going to buzz through this since it's the same build 3 times over, and then I will get the instructions caught up to us. So there's our 3rd finger piece. And then we are going to put all 3 of them into the connector pieces that were in the middle there, so that we end up with what looks like 3 fingers in the middle there. That's kind of cool. Alright, so that tells us that we have built that piece of it. We will set that aside right here. And it looks as though we are going to build yet another finger, but in this case it might actually be a thumb. because it's using a yellow connector piece at the bottom instead of the blue one that the other ones were. But it does look as though it is going to follow the same format as the other fingers were. And there we go. And then we're going to put that one. Let's see here. So, oh, I've got these fingers upside down. Huh. All right. We will fix that just like this. There we go. Okay. So, we've got those fingers fixed. This thumb piece, it looks as though it's going to go right in the middle here, just like that. And then we can turn it around, and there it is. Okay, so that's how it's supposed to look. It gives us this appearance of this claw that's going to grab. And is that it for our claw? That's it for our claw. Okay, so we'll set our claw over by our crow's nest and our other monsters. And we will move on to what looks like another mast that has some propeller blades on it. All right, so we are going to start by building out what looks like our base platform by adding a couple of those there. And then we are going to put this other one on the other side, which looks as though we're leaving room. I was going to say we're leaving room for stuff in the middle, but it looks as though we are then going to immediately cover this up with a piece that has connectors in the middle. And then we are going to put some reinforcements onto that piece. On both sides of that piece, in fact. And then we need a white square that is going to look like none of those, but this one here. Which looks as though that's going to be sort of where our mast post will go. So we will get a couple of these circular pieces. Put them on either side of what we're going to assume is our mast post hole at this point. Oh, and we are going to put a giant gear right in the middle of that. So it's not actually the mast post, but we're going to have a giant gear in the middle. On that giant gear, we are going to put this piece that has two connectors attached to it. And then we are going to put a couple of circular pieces on top of that. You know, I almost wonder, with the fact that this is a gear, if we're going to end up making what will be a turning propeller blade out of this. Alright, so we are going to take these pieces here, and we're not going to put them over top of those connectors, but we are going to put them on either side of the connectors. Just like that. So now we've got a bit of a mast housing coming in here. And then coming up from the bottom, we're going to use this piece that has a flattened end at the side. And I don't know how far. Oh, we're going to put it all the way through there. Maybe. It will let me. There we go. So that's all the way to the bottom, and it's holding everything in the middle there. Alright, we're going to set that down. And we are going to grab this flat piece here, and we're going to start building it up. Use this triangular shape on the end there. And when I find the right pieces, there we go. We're encasing that for some strength. And then we're going to add this piece on top of it, which has a form of a connector next to it. We want this flat piece here to go on the end there. And then this whole section is going to get added right on top of the middle of what I'm assuming is our mast base being created. All right, we're going to leave that again, and we're going to take one of these connectors, and we're going to add a black piece to the middle of that. And then we're going to build that up with a gray piece and a larger open hole star connector, just like so. And we're going to keep building this up because why not, with yet another gray and another black piece, just like so. We are going to add another one of these connectors on the top of that. And then we are going to add this entire structure right in the middle there. I have no idea what we're building at this point, but you can see what we have going at this point. Okay, so down the one side, we are going to anchor everything with one of these long connector pieces. And I just need to, there we go. So there we go. Everything's anchored down on that one side. Oh, did we miss something there? I did miss something there. Okay, so we also need this gray connector piece is going to go right through that middle one there so that we get another middle piece in there. Okay. So now we're going to put that aside again for a minute. And we're going to grab this L-shaped one. And we are going to add a couple of these black connector pieces at two specific points, just like so. And we're going to take this gray connector piece and we're going to add it on to both of those black connector pieces. Possibly, maybe. If I can get it to go in right there, we go. Got it. All right, so we are going to add a black connector piece right next to the end of this on the inside. And then we're going to take one of these, we'll call it a cream colored one. And we're going to put this one in through this side because we should be able to go all the way through, and we got a connector on either side now. We're going to take one of these little ones and connect both of these two together, like so. Just like that. And then we're going to add two black connectors down at this end here. Maybe. There we go. Just like that. And we're going to put another one of those pieces like that right on that end piece there. Okay. And 1 second. Alright, I am glad that I got a water bottle beside me because this amount of talking is definitely taking its toll on needing to talk as much as I am. Okay, so we're going to take this piece here and we're going to attach, it looks from the top of our L, we're going to put that down there, just like so. And then we're going to take this other connector, and we're going to add these on the other side now at this point. Connecting much like we did the other side. All of those together. And now we've got something that will raise and lower. Don't exactly know what it's going to do yet, but we will find out as we continue building it. Okay, next. I'm going to take this base piece, and we are going to add another cylinder column on top of it. And then we will add a circular piece right on the top middle of that. This is now going to go on the very top of everything we have. And this almost makes it seem as though this is our main powering engine of some sorts. There we go, just like that. Alright, once again, we will set that down. And we are going to use this yellow connector into what looks now like mast pieces on either side of it. And then we are going to put the black piece there with another mast piece here. So this looks as though we're starting to build our propeller blades, much like we had done before. We'll use a red connector here. Another mast piece. And then we'll do one more on this side. Like so. And yet one more again. As you can tell, I have not actually built this before, so we're apparently going to keep going on this side, which is perfectly fine. And then at the very end, we will be taking one larger black one, like so. Then we will be adding a crow's nest on top here, much like we did on the other one, although from my understanding, there's usually only one crow's nest on a ship, but I mean, this is a Mario ship. Who is really going to argue about that? And we will add one more red connector in here that allows us to put our cylinder on top, and that finishes off what looks like our mast piece. And I will set our mast piece next to this thing right here. As we start to build out, yet again, more propeller blades. I can see that this is definitely starting to come together. We're starting with the masts, and I imagine we will start building the boat after we have completed these. Alright, just need to get them into the right spot so that I can actually... What am I doing wrong here? Hang on a second. Why am I doing this incorrectly? Something I am not doing right about this. There we go. Helps if I look at the instructions. That will help me line things up properly. So, much like before, we have our two outer circulars and our two inner triangles with a rounded edge. Build out the blade part. We will then add these pieces down the length of the blade. We'll flip it over and put the connector piece. Yeah, drop that one. Just give me 1 second. Alright, put that connector piece on there, just like so. And then we will move on and build the next one. See, that goes so much better when I actually follow the way the instructions are laid out for it. And I'm just going to move on ahead and fill in the rest of this blade because we already know how it's going to look. And then I will get the instructions caught up with us after we have built the second blade. There we go, 2 propeller blades. We are going to add these onto our crow's nest mast. And gravity is not my friend on that one, just like so. Spins, just as we would expect. And then we're going to take our mast piece that we have been building all the way through. We're going to take it and put that black pole right through the middle. So we're going to get something that looks like this. So this is a massive mast piece. The propeller actually spins. And this piece is considered complete. So I'm going to set that aside with all of the other pieces we have so far. And we're going to take this white connector piece, which looks very similar to the gray one that we've already done. We're going to put that white piece on there. Oh. No, we aren't. We're going to try and pry that back off because we actually need to, there we go. We actually need to put it next to it so we can put 2 of them side by side instead of one right in the middle. Flip that over and we are going to add some rounded pieces on either side there, which will help support it. And then we're going to bring this mast piece back. We're going to add that connector just onto the side there. And we will start building yet the next piece we're doing. So we're going to take this black one here, and we're going to use the star connector to put that on the top. And then we're going to put a blue one into the side there. And then we're going to add this target piece right into the center there. And then we're going to start building out the rest of the side here with a yellow piece going all the way down, followed by this black piece coming all the way down next. And we're going to put this brown connector on top there. And then we're going to build out that piece there next. And then this whole section, how does that go on? Looks as though it is going to be attached to, so I can show here, we're going to attach it right in the middle to that tan piece that we had come all the way through. And then that is going to show a target on the one side there. Let's see if I can get that in view. This piece is actually getting quite unruly as far as how large it is. And we're done with that piece. Hooray. Alright, so I will set that over at the side now. And we will move on to our next connection piece here. How is this being built out at this point? Okay, so we're going to take our giant mast piece and we are going to add this brown connector there. And we're going to take that to our next platform piece, which will then be connected directly to our smaller propeller by that one. And then we're going to have another piece here I don't know if I can get all of this in for people to see what's happening here, but this is going to be a very large piece at this point in time. We are going to add our Goomba onto there. We're going to have another platform piece that comes down this way that is then going to connect to our cannon. If I can do that. A little bit blind, just like that. We are going to add our claw piece. I'm just trying to see how that gets added in there. Let's see. So how is that being connected there? It looks as though we are connecting it onto just trying to spin that around to see here. So it looks as though this is being put right through the middle there. And there it is. It's being held like that. Okay. So I'm going to try and show this, although it's slightly challenging with just how big and heavy the pieces are. But what we end up having is the hand piece is now connected to the mast there. We have our cannon at the beginning and our Goomba down here. We have two propeller masts that are going. See the one? I'll try and move the other one into camera. There. So you can start to see how large this is becoming. Take those two extra pieces and throw them off to the side. And then it's showing that we have our little Monty Mole just out in the middle here. And that whole setup connection is done. But let's be honest, that's not the full airship. We're nowhere near complete at this point. We are now moving on to stage 5. And stage 5 will be the end, but I think this first build is going to be a big one. So, I'm going to move all of our mast pieces over off to the side here. I am actually going to disconnect our cannon here so that I can give us more space up front and center. And we are moving on to bag number 5. As well as we are going to need these additional pieces that aren't even labeled. They don't even have a bag number because they are just part of the airship itself. So we're going to open all of this up. And then on top of that, we will open up bag number 5. I will do my best in the process of opening this to keep all of the pieces on the table. That garbage pail is getting kind of large. It's also worth noting that we are on package number 5 of 13 bags that need to be built, so we are not out of the woods yet. Okay, we are going to take this large ship deck piece, and we are going to add 2 black connectors on the 2 end spots for it. And then we are going to connect that to our front of the airship deck, just like so. All right. Now we start into the big builds. So, dead center, we're going to put a black one there. And then we are going to take these brown pieces, and we are going to corner them with these golder square pieces. And we're going to just move around the ship with that. And we're going to do the same on the other side. I can sense that my desk area here might not be big enough at certain points once we really start to get into building this. Okay. Then we are going to add edge pieces on the very outside of the airship. So I'm going to add 2 of them there that will go the length of this. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side there. Nope. Not quite the full length there. And all the way to the end there. And then, by the looks of things, we are going to take an orange one and put them right near the ends there on either side here. Just like so. Okay, we're going to set that aside for a second. And we're going to take this connector piece and we're going to alternate the black connectors at either end. Just like so. Set that aside. We're going to take one of these gray connectors. Sorry, a light gray connector, I should say. And we are going to put, by the looks of it, one black connector through like so. And then we're going to use that to put another one through on the same spot. And then we're going to use one of these gold pieces. And we're just going to put it through both of them, but leaving some space there. And then we're going to take this and, oops, we have used the wrong piece there. We're not supposed to use one of these. But in fact, we should actually be using this block here. So we will just fix that right up. And then from the black connector side, we're going to go one over from the end. Okay. Now we're going to do a blue connector into 2 of these gray pieces. Maybe. There we go. And then we will put another one of those gold ones on the other side. Almost feels as though we are building some structural points. And this is actually going to go right up next to that one. Now we've got 2 of those forming. We're going to take one of these smaller gray ones, and we're going to put it right through the end 2 pieces. Just like that. Oh, I think we missed one on the end there. So let's back up a second. Yes, we did. Okay. So we just need one more of these black connectors going through at the end here. Just on that end side there. Okay. Now we'll set that aside for a second. We're going to build 2. Using the right ones now of these guys, where we are going to put 2 of these gold, one at the very end. And then looks like we're going 4 in between. So one sort of dead center. Okay. And then we're going to do that again. So one at the end. And then move down 4 to dead center. All right, so we are now going to add that to that black one that we almost missed. And then we're going to add this to the other one on the other side, just like so. So now we've got a very unique and interesting thing forming. And I have no idea what it's going to be, but I am excited. Okay, so we're going to bring our ship piece back in, and we are going to put this starting from the end, going all the way right to the middle there. So that's what it's going to end up looking like. Now, by the looks of this, it looks as though we are going to build the exact same thing, only this time we're going to be putting it on the opposite side. But I am okay with that. I assume that we will see what the plan is in store for this. So we're going to take 2 of these smaller gray ones. Much like we did before, we're going to stick the black connector through both of them. And then we're going to stick this gold connector piece through the other side of both. And then we will come back and that, oh, we're actually going to go the other way with this. Because we need to build things in reverse. So that's going to hook on there. So now it's going the opposite way of what we had previously. So if you'll see what we had there, it's now going to go the opposite way. All right, so again, 2 more of these thin gray ones. And then we are going to put a blue connector through both of them again. And then a gold one on the other side. It always fascinates me with LEGO kits as to how they decide what pieces are going to be put where. And then on this side, we will put that blue through, much like we did. Although everything we are doing now is going 100% in reverse as a mirror of what we did previously. And before I forget, put that black piece on the end there, much like we did last time. Okay, so we're going to take 2 of these larger ones. And much like before, we are going to put 1 in the end. And then 4 of them down, right dead center in the middle. Just like that. And then we will do that once again, putting 1 in the end. And then going dead center, 4 notches down. And then, as we did previously, we will be adding these onto the far end pieces that we have now created. And then this whole section is going to come onto our airship, and it is going to go in the exact opposite side from where we had the other ones. And now you can see that we've got, well, I'll be honest, I don't actually know what we have yet, but we're building things. All right, so that finishes up that section. So now we are going to take these rounded pieces and we're going to add them on starting right at the edge of that orange piece we added earlier, and just adding it right around the side here. We are also going to take one of these tan pieces, light brown, put it along the end there, and then another circular piece on the other side. Like so. At the back of the ship, we are going to add a couple of these zigzag pieces just on the ends there. So we'll do another one on the other side. And then, oh, that's it. Yep, because we already have that black middle piece. We will take one of these light gray connector pieces and stick it right in the middle there, like so. And then we will finish off the top with a couple of these brown flat pieces at either end, and one of the orangey ones right in the middle, just like so. Okay, we'll leave the ship piece for a second. We're going to grab this T-shaped piece, and we are going to add connectors at all of the end points. Just like so. And then this is going to connect right on the back middle of the ship. Oh. Not right at the bottom like that, but right there. So we hook into the connector piece we just had, and then one in the bottom there. Okay, we will put that aside again, and we're going to take 2 of these 8 bricks and put them together. And then on top of that, we will add that one there, followed by a connector piece on the other side. And then we'll take this big flat gray one right on top. On the connector side, we will put one right at the end, and then we will put one in the 3rd position. We're going to add our the black circular connector right next to that. And then we're going to take one of these other ship end pieces, and we are going to put this, by the looks of it, right on the end of that. So we're going to extend out the end of that ship piece, basically. And by the looks of this, we are going to do the same thing on the other side. So we will take 2 of these 8 blocks again. And in reverse, we will put one of those there, and I will assume that this connector will be going on next. As it is, we will take that flat piece again and put it across the top. Take 2 more of those black connectors, which we will put at the 1st and 3rd positions, just like so. We will take the circular black connector piece here, just like so. And then on the other side of the ship, we will add that. So now we are really starting to build that out. Across the top here, we will be adding a black archway right in the middle. And then we are going to fill out the entire top of this, starting with these 2 black oval shapes that will help reinforce those sides. Moving into a couple of rounded pieces that will go along each of the sides here, just like so. And then we will finish off with a couple of the circular pieces right at the top of the ship. Alright, next we will take one of these squares and put a cylinder on top of it. Add another cylinder and another square piece, just like so. And then we will add those two, we'll call them connector pieces of sorts. And then on the bottom of the ship, we are going to, sorry, I should turn that over for the bottom of the ship. And we're going to add that right at the bottom of the ship. Now, this whole piece, oh my goodness, is going to be added onto our existing airship base by attaching it just like so on top of things. So now this whole front is starting to get built out a lot more, which is starting to look really cool. And that is all of that portion of this. We now need bag number 6. I am just going to take this piece and move it over to the side. And we will grab bag number 6 here and continue building out our airship. Again, careful for the pieces. And the same with the small bag that's inside. Alright, so the first thing we need is this long connector piece, and we are going to put this thinner piece on top, right in the center. We're going to add 2 small squares on either side of that. I will be really honest, I don't know what's going on this airship here, but I am getting very curious as to just what we're going to end up seeing from the inner workings of what we got going on. Okay, we're going to take 2 of these, and we're going to put them on either side. Once I find the other one, there it is, right at the ends here. So we are going for the absolute maximum length we can get out of this. And then we're going to build those up. So we're going to add these arch-like pieces, oops, right at the edges there. Just like that. And then we're going to build up the edges here. Oh boy, this is not structurally sound at this point in time, so bear with me on that. And then a little 2 block right at the edge there. And that finishes that off. Okay, next step. We are going to add these more orange-like pieces right on top, which is going to help make this a little bit more stable. And that's really helpful because we need a little bit of stability right now. And then we're going to start building up this top layer. So we're going to take these 2 little orangey 2 blocks, and we're going to add them to either side here, just like so. And then we're going to build right along the top with these blocks here. And actually, we're going to do that because we need the shorter one right in the middle, just like so. Okay, we are moving along here. We're going to take this brown piece, put it on the center one there, and we're going to take another one on the other side, just like that. On the outside, we are going to build it up with the last of these double stack pieces here. And the 2 blocks right in the middle. Until we're building a something that's going to go around something, I'm just not sure what at this point. Okay, so in the inside, we're going to add 2 of these connector pieces, 1 on each side. Just like that. And then going around the outside edge again, we will add 1 long one and 1 cream little single piece. And I'm just for fun going to reverse it. We'll add the single piece and then the long stretch at the end. We will finish that off with a bunch of flat pieces on the very top. And it's amazing at just how much more stable this is now that we've added a whole bunch of pieces to it. And then we should have 2 smaller flat gray pieces to go right on the ends there. Now, this whole piece is going to, let's bring our ship back into the middle here. As I said, I wasn't sure where we were going to put this. It is going to go right into the middle of the ship here. So now, if you look at what we've built here, we now have that middle piece all built up. Let's see if I can get them more on camera there. All right, we are definitely moving along. That's another checkpoint for us. Next thing we're building. Okay, we're actually going to be onto the back of the ship. And we're adding black connector pieces to that end there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add them in here. We are adding them, 1 from the end. And we're adding them 2 side by side at that 1 from the end spot. So just do the one side, then coming on the other side. Now there's nothing holding these really in place at this point, so I'm trying to be careful not to completely destroy the top of the ship at this point. And there's what we're kind of looking at. As far as, oops, top of the ship's falling off. That's what we're sort of looking at this point. And I knocked one of the pieces down, so just give me a second. All right. So, the next thing we are going to be building. Looks as though we're going to be doing 2. And I'm not exactly sure what we're going to end up building, but we are going to take one of those blue pieces, and we're going to put a gold cap on top of that. And then on top of that, we are adding one of these gray caps. On the other side, we are going to take one of these connectors that has a star rod on the end. And we are going to add this connector piece through that has the star rod there. And then we are going to finish that with one of those gray ones, just like so. And then we're going to do that again. Then to the other side. And then those are going to go into the 2 spots that we just added connectors right on the back of the ship. So I'm just going to do this, and then I will show as best I can without breaking things. Though what we've ended up with there. Maybe. There we go. So now, oops. Grab that in a second. We've got that right on the back of the ship now. So that's what we got. And that's the next checkpoint. Alright, just give me 1 second as I've dropped the whole front half of the ship. So we're just going to bring that back on there. Alright, the next thing we are going to be building. So, we're going to take a black connector and another one of these cylinder pieces. And then in the other side, we're going to take one of the white connectors with a star connector. And we are going to add one of these gray pieces first, and then one of the circular pieces on top there. Set that for a second. We are now going to take one of these gray pieces, and we're going to use these two half circles on either side. Oh, I guess half ovals when you put the two of them together. Just like that. And we're going to put that on the top of this white star piece. Just like so. We're going to cap it off with a cylinder in the middle. And then we're going to do it again. So these look like they're propellers, but they look like they might be sort of a bottom of the ship type of propeller. So while we have the propeller blades that are sort of acting like a helicopter blade, these look more like the type that would go at the rudder, so the bottom of the ship, just as a propeller on the back side of it. But I don't know that for sure, so we will wait to see what it does. And yes, so it looks kind of like that. So I'm going to pull this off just so I don't break anything. And then in these black pieces there, we're going to be adding these little propellers at the end here, which, you know, are going to give us two sideways propellers, just like that. All right, next checkpoint done. All right, we are moving on to bag number 7. We are definitely making some progress at this point. So I'm just going to try and get that ship piece back where it belongs. Yes, I know, you want me to open bag number 7. Alright, I'm going to just... There's some larger pieces there. I'm going to move them up to the side there, just in case we actually need some more of those in the future. And we are going to open up bag number 7 now, doing my very best not to drop any more pieces on the floor than I already have. Alright. So, we are going to start with this gray piece and putting the brown piece on top of it. Super simple. We're going to take some 2 blocks on the ends. And then a black connector piece is going to go right in the middle. We'll top that off with another brown piece at the back there, or on top I should say. And then we're going to put a blue connector right in the middle with a star connector on its other side. We'll add a black connector on the very top of all of that. And then we will take a 2 block, followed by another, oh, that's orange. We want a tan colored block with it. And then we are going to add this gray hook piece right ones from the end there. We're going to add a light brown 2 block there. And then a dark brown block on the other side there. We will add one of these orangey blocks on top from the end there. And then on top of that, we will add this one that has just 2 studs on it. Moving around to the other side, we are going to add a black connector one from the end. And then another one from the end on the other side. We're going to add this big, long gray connector piece. One from the end from the far side. So that we have their connecting points there and there. And then this whole section is going to go on our other mast piece. Just like so. So I'm assuming this is going to potentially build out the back half of the ship. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, so I'm pretty confident that what we're going to be doing now is building out what we just did in reverse so that we get the other half of that ship. So I will just keep doing my best to build this out the way it's meant to be done. One just like so. Where is... These unique gray pieces are easy to find because they're not like some of the others. So I try and find them first because it's easy to put everything else in place when you have a unique piece to work with. Okay, so now we've got that other side. And then we're going to bring this other side of the ship over and put that right on the other side like that. Okay. That finishes that. Now we're going to move into more of the interior of this side of the ship. And we're going to add 2 of these arch pieces into either side of the interior there. We're going to take 2 of these L-shaped blocks, and we're going to add them on either side. Oh, wait. Not there, per se, but actually helping to anchor that piece in there. And then we are going to add, let's start from the end here. So, we're going to add a 2 block, starting right at the edge, followed by one of these double 3s, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, just so that it's easier to follow. And then we're going to add these half moon pieces, which connect right through to that edge piece there, so it's much easier to see where to line things up when you have those already in place. And now we've got those double moons there. Okay, we're going to follow that up by putting a couple of edge pieces and then a circular rounded one there. We're going to do that on either side. I'm assuming this is going to be building up possibly the back side of the airship at this point. But you never know. This could just be more going on top of what we've already done. We will find out. Okay, so we're going to take this, set that down for a second, this sort of Z piece here, and we're going to put 2 of these on top there. We're going to take the flat brown square here and put it down at the bottom. And then that is going to go right up front here, just like so. We are going to put 2 orange squares connecting right in the top parts there. And then we are going to put one of these. Let's see. Hang on. We need... Okay, yep, we need 2 of those. And yep, we're going to do right over the front, middle, and right next to it. And we don't stop. This is awesome. We're going to keep going with some cream-colored flat pieces on either side. And I am going to go on either side at this point, just so that I make sure I don't miss things. We're going to do a angled triangle piece on either side. Once I find the other one. And then we have 2 cream-colored rounded pieces that we will put on either side of the front. Just like so. We're going to put these small, like slightly raised pieces right on the edges here, like that. And then we are going to switch over to grabbing an arched piece like so and putting a brown flat 2-piece underneath it. And we're actually going to put 2 arch pieces together just like that. We're going to add these double ones on the back. We're going to put a flat black piece there. We're going to put our Z piece on top of that, just like so. Set that down, and we're going to grab this green piece that has 2 at the front. We're going to put a brown piece on top of it. And then that is going to come underneath our Z piece there. We are going to add one of these 4 blocks on the back of it. We are going to add this too tall one in the middle there, and this upside down piece behind it. And then this whole bit is going to go on the underside, and it is going to lock in underneath there, just like that. So now we've got this big sort of front, like this almost looks like it's the front of the ship as that's building at the mast that would go out in front of the ship. So we are going to take this whole section, and I'm going to try and bring our airship back in here, and we're going to add this whole section on top of that which we have already done. And it's going to go right at the front there. So now, without trying to break too many things, you can see we've got quite a hefty front of our ship being built now. Okay, and you know, we've got quite the 3-layer thing going on there. I'll see if I can sort of show off the insides there, so you can sort of see what we've got going on here. All right. So, now that we've got this massive front to the ship going on, what's next? All right, we're going to take these thin gray pieces, and we're going to put black connectors through both of them on either ends. Maybe, if I can get my hands to work that way. Just like that. And then this, oh my goodness, is going to... How is that even working? So, by the looks of this, I think I need to rebuild some things, because unfortunately, I believe we have these things on backwards, that those are supposed to go to the inside of the ship just by the way that this is looking. So I'm going to just pull this off screen and quickly try and fix that which we have done here. While I am fixing this, this is a good spot to remind people that this is being done as a part of Extra Life, supporting Sick Kids Hospital. If you are not familiar with Extra Life or with Sick Kids, my best way to describe it to you is that Sick Kids brings gamers of all sorts together to play games in support of Children's Miracle Network hospitals. I'm specifically supporting Sick Kids because it is the hospital that is close to me, and it's also been very important for a number of friends and family members that I care about. I can't tell you the number of coworkers who I have had donate to me and have mentioned that their kids or friends' children would be in a lot of serious trouble without the help from Sick Kids. That the hospital has been extremely important to being able to help them. Everything from, surgery from plates within the head not being working properly and, being fused at birth, to heart surgeries, things of those nature that, it's, I'm very humbled to be able to be a part of Extra Life and, see the amazing positive things that are being done to help children. Alright, just need to pry this one off again because I put it in the wrong spot. Such is the nature of what I do. Okay, so that one's right. We're going to put these pieces back on. And then we will add these outside pieces back in. Alright, I'm going to start bringing this back on camera now because I'm getting it back into place again. Alright, so what I've basically done is just reverse that so that those are now on the insides. We can put that back on top of the ship. So the reason we're doing that is the next piece we need to do is going to be connecting the gray piece on our upper level with the black piece on the lower level. So we are going to be connecting that, and it looks as though, how is that going to go in there? So that is going to go in there. And then the black piece, it hooks in on there. Okay, so there we go. So what we've got now is the top piece being connected to the middle piece, which is going to start, hopefully, helping us hold this whole airship together. All right, so I believe we are going to now do the same thing on the other side. We're going to take two of these black pieces and connect them into the gray piece. Just like so. And then we're going to do that on the other side of the ship. There we go. That actually will also give us so that our ship should be able to expand outwards now. And if that's the idea, is that this thing can really expand out into, like, collapse into an airship and then also expand out into a full level, like you would see within the actual Mario games, that's going to be pretty neat. All right, so we now need package number 8 of 13. We are definitely making some progress on this one. I hope everyone has been enjoying watching this, those of you who have been watching. I know that my cousin will probably watch this multiple times over because he absolutely loves everything Lego and watching it being built, so. All right, moving on. We are now using green pieces for the first time. And we're going to just put two of these square end pieces on each of the ends here. And we'll do the same on the other side. So what we want, this is what we want. There we go, 4 of those. All right, we're going to take one of these semicircle pieces. Actually, we're taking both of them. And interestingly enough, we are actually going to have them meet in the middle, which was not what I was expecting, but I'm okay with that, just like so. And we need a couple of cream-colored pieces that we will put on top of that. All right, we are going to fill out the middle here with a couple of gray pieces on either side, which will help make that a little bit more structurally sound. And these two brown, I don't know what to call them. They're kind of a linked random piece right in the middle. Okay, we're going to take two of these maroon single circles. And we need one of these little pieces like that. And then we're looking for something that looks like this, although I need the other direction, I believe. And how does that go? Nope, we actually do want this direction here, so that we end up with a little hook on the side there. And then we're going to place this on the side of our piece like that. Now, if I were betting, based on what we're looking at, I think we are starting to build out what's going to be a Bowser head that's going to go right on the front of our ship. That's what this kind of looks like to me. But, you know, we'll see what happens. All right, so we're going to do the same thing again. Except this time, we want the piece going to the other side. So it's flat on that side. We got our little end piece at the side there. And then we're going to put this on the other side, just like that. We're going to take 2 green square pieces, and we're going to build up. And actually, you know, based on the looks of it, it looks as though instead of it being a coming out of the side so that that's head on, I'm willing to bet that it's going to be more Bowser's face being created like this, and then we will put this onto the front of the ship. Okay. Stopping our delays, we need another green square piece that we'll put next there. We need 2 of these guys, 1 on either side. There's our other one. Just like that. We are going to cover the front with these green flat pieces. Just like so. And then we are going to add single brown pieces right up at the top corners with a green flat bar in the middle. And there we are. Just like that. Okay, we're going to cover the front of this with a bunch of flat pieces going in a vertical line. Keeping one of them that has a single stud spot at either side there. We are going to put 2 yellow pieces, tan pieces maybe, on the tops there. And then we are going to put a yellow bar right in the middle there. Alright, we're going to put that down for a second. We're going to take one of these pieces here, and we're going to put 2 of these smaller ones across it. Just like that. We're going to put a rib piece directly in the middle of that. Hold it together. And then we're going to put this right down in the bottom there. We're going to take 2 of these slight arched pieces, I guess reverse arches, on the inside of either of those there. And then we are going to put an L shape with this brown piece right in the center there. Not what I need an L piece. That's what I need. This one. We are then going to put that piece in the middle there. We're going to build that up another level with this guy here. And then we are going to add these pieces. Oop. Something's not right there. Why doesn't that look high enough? Did I miss something there? So we've added that. Okay, that. Sorry everyone, I'm just trying to figure out what I have missed here, because I feel like I have missed something. Okay, so those don't already line up, so I'm just going to assume that we missed way back when putting 2 of these pieces here, because that would make it line up height-wise for that. And then we have those, we have that on top. Then if we get to this piece here, these should now fit as they do. So I'm going to assume that's what we did. We just missed that. Or I should say I missed that. And we are going to put 2 of them, 1 on either side. Just like so. And I'm going to take 2 of these different tan browned pieces and put them directly in the middle, just like that. All right, we are going to put one of these right along the top middle. And then we're going to take 2 of these guys here, which have an edge down the side there. We're going to put them on either of the edges. And then we're going to put one of these flat. Okay. Helps if I actually put it at the edge. There we go. And we'll put one of these ones right in the middle there. All right, we're going to take 2 of these very teethy, like spiky white pieces, and we're going to put them right down in the bottom. And then we're going to fill those with these rounded pieces in the middle. And then we're going to use these angled pieces at the edge. I'll show you what that looks like after I've found the last one in here. Where did it go? Did I drop another piece and not know it? Nope, there it is. Okay. So now what we've got here is what looks like the bottom of a mouth. And then we are going to add these 2 very spiky looking top teeth type ones up top there. And we're going to add these very large circular pieces over top of each of them. Quite possibly, maybe. If I can get them lined up right. Oops. Okay, that one I did drop. 1 second. All right, so there's the one. Now, if I follow the instructions, we should be able to get that other one on there. Oh, nope, they should be going in the middle there, so we'll do it that way there. And hey, look at that. That ends up working. Okay, there we go. Okay, we're going to set that down for a second. And we're going to grab this piece here. And we are going to add that one on top of it. And then we are going to put this right over top like so. And then that is going to take another one of these pieces right in the middle like that. Then we're going to take one of these maroon pieces and put that like so. And we're going to take one of these white ones. I actually want the other one for this side, like so. We're going to add that right in there like so. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Now, this isn't starting to look like a Bowser's face. I don't know what does. But that looks pretty cool. And then we're going to put this on the very front of our ship. And I'm going to try and very gently put that on there. I'm going to try and show off that there is the front of our airship with its massive... Let's see if we can get that on camera there. Am I right? There we go. See our massive Bowser face right on the front of our airship. All right, that is another checkpoint. Let's see what we're doing next. We're taking our two maroon pieces, putting them together. And we're going to put that right on the top here to help anchor that in a little bit better. And then we're going to take two of these pieces on either side. To be honest, I'm a little nervous working directly on the airship because I don't want things to fall apart on me, but we're working with it. All right, next we're going to take this flat piece here. And we're going to take this brown piece, put it right down at the end. We're going to take our two arch pieces, our reverse arch pieces. So our downward slope as opposed to an upward slope. And then we're going to put this hook piece in the middle with this piece over top of it there. And then this whole bit is going to go onto the front of our airship as the top front platform right next and over top of our Bowser head. Okay. We're now going to build that up a little bit more with two of these angle pieces. And then two of these flat pieces on top of that. All right. Now, we are going to build the back side of the airship. So I'm going to put the airship off to the side. I'm going to move those spare pieces up there just in case we do need them later. We're going to package number 9. Yes, I know we need to open package 9. All right. Carefully bring those pieces out. And the same with those ones there. Okay. So, the first thing we need to do is grab possibly one of the smallest pieces in here. And then we're going to add two large gray pieces on either side of it. From there, we're going to take these slight triangle pieces, and we're going to point the angle side to the center on both of them, just like so. And we will add a couple of single black squares right at the edges of the outside. Now, in between that, we are going to add one of these large cream-colored pieces right across the middle, and then more single black squares on the edges. On the sides, we are going to add these gray pieces that come down the side, and we're going to add two of them on each side. And in addition, we are going to put two of these single gold circle pieces right on the cream one. And we're going to do that on either side. Like so. Okay, going along the back, we're going to take these sort of larger pieces that will come along the back, and we are going to space them out so that the entire back side is going to end up getting covered with this rail of posts that we can use, just like that. All right, we're going to set that down for a second. We are going to grab one of these long black thin strips, and we're going to take one of these pieces and put it dead center. On top of that, we're going to use one of these black hold connector pieces, and then a couple of other black single squares. And then we're going to put a couple of black arches on either side of that as we start to build that up. And then we're going to put that across the backside of the middle, just like so. All right, we're going to start building 2 of those, which I'm assuming are going to come down the wings. So we're going to start with one of these dark grays and put one of these brown ones on top of it. And then we're going to add one of these 3-slot connectors with a brown square in between. And then we're going to do the same thing, going all the way to the end. And then we're going to repeat that. So we're going to take one of these gray and put a brown on top of it. And then we're going to put the black connector with the brown pieces in between. Okay, we are going to put these running down either side here, just like that. Okay, we'll put that down again. And we're going to start with this large black double piece, and we're going to put the double stack one up top there. We're going to put this in the dead center and put another one there on the other edge. We're going to put this very long black connector piece right along the entire other edge of that. And then we're going to put 2 of these pieces over top on the one side here. And then we're going to do what looks as though one of those there, one of these hook connector pieces here, another one of these running down across the middle, and then another one of these at the edge there, just like that. And this is going to come and go on top of, okay, there is something that we are missing here because these are not lining up height-wise. So I am going to just look here. What have I missed there? Apologies, I just need to back up a second here and figure out what I have missed. So we did that. Then we put those in place, which is right. Did those, yep, we put that in place, which makes sense. Then we moved on to these pieces. Oh, I see what I've done. I put them on backwards. That's what I have done. So we're just going to fast track through this. Okay. I need to actually turn these around so that this piece here is what actually goes on the edge there. And that will make it so that this is the correct height now. So that when I take this edge piece and we put it on the entire length here, it actually lines up properly. Perfect. Okay, so we've done that. Now we're going to do the other side. So we're going to start by putting this big long one right down the middle like that. And then we're going to do the other side as we did before. Just like so. We are going to add these guys running down the backside here. And then, as I'm noticing, we need to add that guy there. We're going to add one of these guys here. Another one on the other side. And not that one, actually. We actually need this one here. With that in between. And then this here. With this brown one behind it. And then that shows that I missed that one there. And then we will put this running the entire length of that side. All right, we are definitely trucking along now. So we need these blue connectors going in the middle of each of these black spots on both sides. And this needs to actually come in one more so that it is lined up. All right. We're making our way through this build. Put that one in the middle there, just like so. So now we've got 4 of those, 2 on each side. On the back side, we are going to do the same thing we did above, where we are going to run these all the way across the back, so that we are covering the entire backside with these, just like that. All right, we're going to set that down, and we're going to open up bag number 10. And yes, I have quite the collection of bags starting on the floor now, just because we've built quite a few things at this point. Okay, so we're going to start with the back side here, running these red panels. And we're going to run 4 of them all the way across the back. Just like so. And then we are going to run 2 of these gray flat panels right across the bottom of the back there. And then we're going to take these guys and edge the sides there on either side, which looks as though we're setting up that we could be doing more panels on the sides there as well. And then we are going to take flat gray pieces on either ends. So we'll start with those. Just right up in the corners there, like so. And then we need these slightly angled bits, like this. And we're going to put them so the angles are facing outwards, like so. And then we are going to run this piece right through the middle of all of that, just like that. Next, we are going to take these hook pieces and we're going to run them vertically with gray flat pieces in between them. And this almost looks as though we're setting up for some lanterns of some sorts that would be hanging across the back of our ship. Since we already know that we are building the back of our ship, and then one more of these hooks, just like so. All right, we are going to be building 4 lanterns. So by the looks of it, we are going to take a lantern piece, and we're just going to stick one of these blue, what looks like a light internal piece right in the side. Okay, and we're going to do that 4 times. Okay, so I'm going to just do that with our other lanterns here. And then I will get the instructions caught up to us after I've completed all 4 of them. Perfect. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to hang these right along the back of our ship. All right, coming to the side, we're going to use a thinner brown panel going from the edge, and we are going to put one of those right on the end beside it. Then we are going to take one of these square pieces and put this little decorative finishing-like piece. And it looks as though we are going to put that right at the bottom here, like so. And then we're going to take another single square and just put it along the top there. Then we're going to take 2 of these flat pieces on either side. It's going to help finish off the side and make it a little bit more decorative. All right, flipping over to the other side, we're going to do the same thing we just did, only in reverse, so that we fill in the other side of the ship. Take our decorative piece, and how's that going? That goes in there, yep. And then it's going to come out the top, like so. I should have another square piece here somewhere. It'll go on the top. There you are. And then we'll use our angled pieces to give a slightly rounded appearance near the back of the ship. So now we've got that and that on each side. We've got our lanterns on the back. Okay, so coming to this side of the ship, we are going to put an orange piece right along the top there. And then we're going to use one that has the 2 bits. And then in addition, one of these orange-yellow angle pieces. I'm going to set this down for a second. We're going to take square brick. We're going to take 3 brick. Put them together. And we need one of these pieces to finish that off. We are then going to take 2 of these arch pieces, which we have used in the past for trees, and put them out from either side. And then we're going to take this larger piece in the middle, just like so. And we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to take another one of these 3 bricks, put that in the center there for stability. And then we are going to build out more of this top. Just like so. This actually almost looks like it could be an anchor, is what we're going to be building. Alright, so we're going to put those on either side there. And we're going to put a gray piece along the top front there. And we will put black connectors at the top and bottom ones. And then we're going to put this connecting bottom and just beyond middle, like so. We're then going to put a gray connector right underneath the black connector that's on the back. And we're also going to put one just above the bottom one there. Set that down for a second. We're going to take two of these brown pieces and connect them together. And then we're going to take this orangey piece and hook it onto the one side, followed by this brown flat piece that we're going to put right near the end there. We're then going to take this orange piece and we're going to add it to the bottom of this angled piece that we're having come down there. And we're going to fill that right in on the side there. On the bottom of this, we are going to put the star connector piece to that. And then we're going to put this right on the front side of this. So it's going to hook in right like that. Then we are going to put this whole section on. It looks as though we're going to go underneath there. And we are going to have it centered. So now I don't think it's the anchor per se, as much as this is going to be the back side of our ship. And that's going to help us connect it on. Okay, next checkpoint's done. So now we are going to add a gold piece right through the middle here, just like that. And then we're going to bring, oops, I'm going to try not to destroy our airship in the process. I need to put that down. All right. So we are going to bring our full airship over here. And the intention is that this is going to slide in here, right on the back side there, just like that. And now, if you can see, I'm not going to try and tip it up to show, but we are now starting to get a very large airship being built, which is really cool to see. Alright, so as I'm looking at this though, and I gotta stop touching my mic with my headphones, I'm starting to realize that I think what I should be doing, and I'm gonna start doing now, is that I believe we are going to start putting those, so the angle brackets we had in the middle. Okay, so we're just going to push this off to the side. We'll deal with that in a second, but I believe those angle pieces that we built right in the beginning of things, that I wasn't sure how they were going to work, I think those are going to connect to the various levels of the ship. So that's what's really going to hold it together. And then that will also allow us to expand the airship out so that we can make it a collapse. Like, it's collapsed right now into looking like an airship. And I believe that we're going to be able to expand it out so that it looks more like an airship level. Okay. So the next thing we are going to do is we're going to take two of these guys together, and we're going to put the black connector pieces on either end of it, just like that. And then this is going to connect our upper level to our middle level. And just trying to see how that's connecting there. All right, so what I'm going to do, this is probably going to connect there. So then our middle level is going to connect from here to there. I'm going to assume that that's where we're going to go with it. Come on. I'm just trying to get the connectors to slot in properly. It's the only thing I'm needing to do next. Apologize if this is hard to see. It's also hard for me to see, so just bear with me as I try and... There we go. Okay, so I've slotted that side in. And you know what? We're just going to make that assumption now. I'm just going to slot these guys in to where I believe that they are supposed to line up. Just so that we don't have to worry as much anymore about this thing losing its structural integrity and completely falling apart on me. So because once we've got this sort of more structurally sound, this will make it a lot easier for me to actually be able to not have this fall apart on us. Okay, so now that we've done that, yep, as I thought, we're going to put two more of these together, and I'll just move the ship over to the side so you can see what I'm currently focused on. All right, we're going to put those two together like that. We're going to put this black connector in the bottom side there, just like so. And then on the other side of our ship, we are going to be connecting you to there. There we go. Okay, so I feel more comfortable now just being able to show off. So there's our middle of the ship. And I believe the way that this is intended to work is that now we can pull it out. And as you can see, I'm just going to try and show various bits of it. We now have a fully expandable airship level. Oops, and we've actually missed one connector there that'll just fire in right now. And then what we can do is then collapse this all together. And now it's collapsed as an airship, just like that. So this is starting to look really cool. And then, so I should also show, we've got the Bowser front of our ship. We have our lanterns and our propellers at the back of the ship. So this is really starting to come together now. And I totally forgot about that piece that's supposed to go there. Sorry, I've missed more than just that. In my haste to get that side done, I have missed a few pieces. Bear with me a second. We need to fix this. Let's make sure that this is the same as the one on the other side, because I don't want anything to be missing that. Okay, there we go. So now that's looking good. All right, put that off to the side. And we are going to open bag number 11 now. Yes, I know. Okay. I know this has been an exceptionally long build, so I completely understand if people have not been able to stick with it the entire time. It's definitely one of the largest builds that I have done. As I said in the beginning, some of the previous ones I've done have only been about a little over 400 pieces, and there are almost 1,200 pieces in this one, so it is about 3 times the size of what I have normally built. Alright, we're going to start with our flat deck plank here, and we are going to add a bunch of these angle pieces all the way along on either side of it. So we're going to end up with 4 of them, creating a bit of a ramp on each side. Just spread things out a little bit more so that I can see the pieces I need. Just like so. Okay. Next, we are going to add these orangey pieces on each of the corners, facing inwards towards the, inwards away from the edges. And there should be a 4th one here somewhere. There you are. All right, we're off to a good start. Okay, so on the one side, we're going to start building out these columns. And we're going to add a couple of these orangey pieces. While I'm talking about this, this is probably a good time for me to also interject and remind people that on my donation page, you will find one incentive that's active right now. So coming out of the Dungeons and Dragons Power Rangers session that I did with a few friends, the incentive is still up that if you want me to embarrass myself by singing Power Rangers theme songs on YouTube, I already have a commitment to do 2 of them, which I will complete probably this afternoon, since I don't have much else going on today. But there are plenty more theme songs that are available. A $10 donation is all it takes to have me put more of those out there for your enjoyment and my embarrassment. Okay, moving on. We're still going to use the 2 blocks, and we're going to do them in sort of an L shape on this platform. And we're going to do that on the other side as well. Just like that. And then we're looking for some pipe work that we're going to put right in the middle there. Almost like some sort of a railing. And then we're going to start building out more towards the bottom now. So we're going to use these white hooked pieces coming down the middle with these cylinder-like pieces in the middle. And I need more white hooks because we're not quite done with those. I'm missing one. There you are. You're hiding on me. All right, there we go. And we're going to put a couple of these black cylinders, not right at the bottom, but close to the bottom. I'm not exactly sure what we're building here, but I am looking forward to finding out. We're going to put a couple of these arch pieces right at the bottom edge here on either side. And then we're going to put a couple of these long pieces right along this whole edge of those on either side for some structural support. And then we're going to support it even further by putting these pieces on top of that. Just like so. Next, we are going to, let's start by putting this guy right along that whole top edge there, followed by these darker brown pieces going on the insides here, on either side. Just like so. Okay, we're going to set that aside for a second. We're going to take one of these black connector pieces, and we're going to take two of our black connectors, and we're going to put them right into the one edge here. Just like that. And then we're going to take our next black connector piece and connect them both together. We're then going to take this piece at the far end, put it on like so, as well as one of these angles pointing away from where the black connectors are. Set that aside for a second. We're going to take one of these cream pieces and put a gray 2-piece on the top. And we're going to put another gray 2-piece, when I find it, right on the other side. And then we need this red, almost looks like a captain's steering wheel piece, that we'll put right in the middle there. We are going to put this right in the center of that there, which now has me thinking that this might be going right on the very top at the back as our captain's wheel to the ship. So, black star connector piece, red star rod. We are going to add one of these gray cylinder pieces down the end there. And we are going to put this through right at the third mark. And then we're going to add a gray connector to the other side. And then one of those black star pieces on the other side of that. Just like so. All right, we are getting into everyone's favorite. We are going to start creating a Pow Switch. We need a blue. We need our Pow icon. We're going to put that there. And then we're going to, actually, that's not the way we should be doing it. We should be putting them on the outsides. I think they wanted to use that there, so they told us we're putting a Pow on either side. We're going to put our Pow barcode on the top. And we're going to put that at the opposite end of this piece here that we're building. Then we're going to take this and I believe, just trying to figure this out to be sure, but it looks as though this whole section is going to fit, off camera, fit right in the middle there. So now we've got a power block and we've got this here and we fit that right in the middle there. Okay. Next thing we need is we need a couple of angles on the outside here. And we need a couple of these small gray ones on the inside here, which is going to help stabilize that. And there should be another one of those gray ones in here somewhere. Oh, I just can't. There you are. You're hiding on me, as always. Okay, just like that. We're going to take these cream-colored platforms and we're going to add them so that they are, how are we doing that? It looks as though they should cover up that piece there, just like that. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side there. Just like so. There we go. We are going to take one of these pieces like this and put it across the middle. Sure, sounds good. And we're going to put this one up the side, just like that. Set that down for a second. We're going to take this black piece here, and we're going to put a blue connector piece through it. On the other side, we are going to put a gray connector through it. And then we're going to take one of these gray blocks and hook it on right like that. This, we're going to spin everything around, is going to go right on the end here like so, so that you'll see we now have that piece there. I don't know what we're doing with it yet, but that's where it's going to go. Then we are going to take one of these black squares and put a red connector, red star rod through it. And we are going to add 3 more of these black bricks to this. 1, 2, and 3. So we end up with 4 with the red rod running through them. We're going to turn that upside down and put 2 of these gold circular pieces on there. We are going to turn it back up the right way, and we're going to put this brown, almost captain's steering wheel right on there. And then with everything still turned around, we are going to add this captain's wheel right in the middle here, just like so. So now we've got our captain's wheel in the middle, and I'm assuming we're going to be building out something on the other side there in just a second. So we're going to take another one of these black connectors, and we are going to put a blue piece on this side. Much like we did last time, we're going to put a gray opposite it, and we're going to take a single gray piece and put it on the end there. Now, this time we are going to have this piece go through on this side here. We're going to leave that up at the moment, and then it's going to show that we are going to put it down and connect that there. We are then going to build out this side. And I see we had to wait because we needed to be able to slide that. So in order to get that piece slid in, we couldn't have that piece there, which is why we were holding off on that. And something is not right here because we are too far away. So what I'm going to do is just quickly correct that this should be there. These are going to come down just one space, which will allow us to take, let's put that right in the middle, this steering wheel down one more, just like so. And the reason we need to do that is so that we can fit these 2 blocks right on the ends there. One there and one there. I'm assuming this is also going to be important for how our steering wheel is going to work. And then right across the back middle, we're going to put this black piece, just like that. We are going to add more angle pieces on the edges here. So on either of the back piece there. And then we're going to also do the fronts, lining up with the orange pieces we already have there. We are going to fill in either side here with 2 of these guys. And then we are going to fill in the front with 2 of these guys. All right, so you can see that that's now coming together. Going back to the back side, we are going to put these guys. Oops. Taking the ship apart again. We're going to put these gray pieces vertically on either end. And then we're going to take this black piece and put that horizontally right through the middle there. Then we are going to add in 2 of these L-shaped pieces right on the top. And we will add a black flat piece right in the middle there. Finishing things off up front, we are going to put this piece right in the middle. Just like that. And we're going to put these 2 orange squares, 1 on either side, just like that. We are going to add 2 hook pieces on either side next to those orange squares. We're going to add these 3 pieces, ones, right in next to it. Just like that. And then we're going to hold that all together with a couple more pieces that won't quite cover the hooks, but will help hold everything together on top. All right, spinning things back around, we are going to take a couple of these Z pieces and we are going to put them right up at the top of the back here. I will do my best to try and keep that on camera. And then we're going to use these angle pieces on either side in the middle here, just like that. And I can't forget to put those orange pieces right down in the middle there, like so. We are going to add the next layer of orange pieces going up the sides here. So if you notice, we got quite the angle slope going up there. And then we are going to add these cream angle pieces, L-shaped pieces, right on the insides, which will help hold that together, followed by gray squares going next to them on the outsides. We'll put these gray flat pieces on top here. And this is quite the construct we have coming on here. And then we're going to set that down for a second. And we're going to grab one of these T pieces. And we're going to put 2 black connectors in the middle this time instead of the outsides. And then we're going to put both of those together as one. We're going to put black connectors at the front edge on either side of them, like so. And then we're going to put a couple of these gray square pieces will be connected just like that. And then this whole construct is going to go right near the back with those pieces slotting into these pieces that we have not put anything on yet. Just like so. We're going to take these gray angle pieces and start building up yet again. And we're going to take this column piece, and that is going to go right up at the top there. And then we're going to use these pieces to cap that off on either side. Followed by a flat gray piece. And this guy. That guy in the middle. This flat one right across the top of that. So now we've got this nice angled construct right at the top there. And then this whole piece, I'm going to just move some of those pieces out of the way, is going to come and sit right on the back of our airship here. So now, if you can see, we now have this massive construct right at the back that is going to sit on the top with our sort of steering wheel at the back there. All right. So this airship is really starting to come along now. All right, that's the next checkpoint. We now need bag number 12. Let's let that pop open. I will grab bag number 12. We are sitting just at about the 3-hour mark now for this one, which I will admit I was not expecting it to go quite this long. Well, actually, I was expecting it to go about 3 hours, but clearly with the fact that we still have a bag number 13 on top of this, we have a little more yet to do at this point, so. But that's fine. As I said, I don't have much going on today, so I can continue working away at this until we have it done. I'd really like to have the airship finished today, or I should say finished before I stop this, so that I can definitely show you guys the finished product, and then I'll absolutely take some pictures of it to share on various other social platforms, because this thing is very impressive when you look at it. All right. Moving on to the next stage. We're going to take one of these gray pieces and we're going to take one of these 3s and put it on top. We're going to start building that up with an arch piece, followed by one of these brown column pieces that has a couple of studs on it. We are going to put a red square on top of that, and then a red 2-piece on top of that square. What are these? Next, moving along, we are going to add a couple of these guys that will hook into things, as well as a spacer in between them, like so. And then another 3-piece one on the end there, just like that. Next, we are going to add a single gray square here. We are going to add another brown column right there. And then we're going to add these red sort of siding panels. And we're going to add 3 of them right along the side there, just like that. We are going to add a gray square along with a red square to what we've already done. And then we are going to add one of these rounded pieces that will finish this side off, as well as a bunch of red hooks. And just with what I'm seeing, I think we are setting up for more lanterns to be added in addition to this. And then, you know, my thought is, I'm wondering if the idea behind this is going to go on the side so we get some side lanterns. Okay, so we're going to have one of these guys, which is going to go right across here. And that will help keep those guys in line. Plus a red square right at the end on this side. Just like that. We are going to add one of these reverse arch pieces down at the other end. And I saw another red bar needing to go on there as well. And then we are going to interweave these red blocks with these blue blocks. And we are going to do that all the way along here, finishing with a red block just on that arch piece, just like so. We will put one of these guys on top there, followed by one of these brown pieces on that one there. We will add a red tube on top of that, and then also a red square right next to it. Then we're also going to add a red square by the looks of it on this guy here, and then a gray square next there. And then we will put another one of our reverse arch pieces right down the middle of it there. So now you can start to see how we're building out a very nice sort of decorative side piece. Next, we will add one of these red blocks up there, a single red behind it, and then one of these straight gray columns, just like that. We will then add one of these rounded pieces right in there like so. And then we're going to start to finish off the top of this with some of these more decorative pieces, which will make things look like it belongs on the side of a ship. So we'll finish it off with one of these reverse arches again, and one of these rounded columns on top. So now you'll see we got a lot of sort of nice arches there, and this looks as though it's going to end up being part of a side of the ship. So we're going to set that down for a second, and we are going to take one of these guys and put one of those on top. And we're going to do that twice. Yep. Okay, and then these are going to go right down at the bottom. Sort of fitting onto either side of the ship right at the bottom there. And then we're going to build 3 lanterns for this side, which, if you remember, we did that already before. I'm just going to build all 3 lanterns, and then I will get the instructions caught up after. There we go. And then we are going to place all 3 lanterns on this side with them angling inward inside the little structural formation they have there. So there we go. Then we're going to take this, and it is actually going to go up on the top side, not down at the bottom. So that what we end up looking like, sorry, that's off screen, it's hard to see. We end up getting this nice side right at the top of the ship there, so now we've got this nice sort of angle, if that makes it easy to see. Just trying to show that. So now we've got that nice angle coming up to the bridge part of where the wheel is. Okay, that was that side. And now I believe we are moving on to doing the same thing in reverse, but for the other side of the ship. So, much like before, we will start with the larger piece and the smaller one going on top. I always find that doing the second one is easier because I've already seen it before. But then in addition, there are fewer pieces here now, so it's much easier to see which pieces need to go where. So we'll put those red pieces on, much like we did last time there. And then again, we will add our hook pieces that will snap in on either side. That gray spacer in the middle. And then another flat gray piece, which, given there are fewer pieces, it should be easier to find. And once again, we will add the single gray square right at the end here. And we will add our other column piece there. And then we will add these structural lantern locations right in the middle there, like so. We will add that gray piece in there. And we will add a single square right next to here. Alright, we are going to add the structural finishing side there, and we will add our 3 red hooks that will hold our lanterns, just like that. We will put a single square red right there, and then one of these bars right next to it, starting to make a bit more structure for those holding pieces. Take our reverse arch here and add it on. And then we'll add another one of those pieces there. And then we will do the interweaving of the red bricks and the blue, we'll call them glass bricks, which I assume gives us the illusion of having windows here, even though we don't necessarily have windows. Alright, there's those. We will put this brown connector piece right there, as well as this red brick one covering off that end there. We will add a red 2 piece there, as well as a single square right there. And then that will set up for, there's our gray block that will go there, as well as our red single square that's going to go right down in the middle there. And now we can put that other reverse arch on right in the middle there. Alright, building up the back, we will add that, as well as our single red square there. And we will add our column tower there. All right. Now we will add more of the finishing piece off to the side here. And then we will start finishing off the top. So this piece will come right there. We'll have a single gray square in the middle there. And then finishing off our nice arch with a rounded piece like that. There we go. All right, we need to build our buttons again. So we will just, as I quickly fire that off, build our 2 buttons. And you know what? I'm going to just do these now. We will build our 3 lanterns because we know what's coming. We've done it already. So we will build the buttons. We'll build the lanterns. I will get us caught up. We will add our buttons onto the platform here. Oh, actually, I'm going to do that side. And that one there. So there's our buttons. We have already built our lanterns because we know what we're doing here for those. So we'll just skip through those. We will add our lanterns in. And oops, we will make sure that they are hanging inwards, which makes sense now given that these are angled pieces, so gravity's holding this on. And then we will bring our ship over, and we are going to just fit this piece right in where it belongs. There we go. So now we have the other side of our ship. And we've got quite the interesting back going on there. All right. That finishes off that piece. Again, I will move the extra pieces up to the top. All right. Here we go. We are in the final leg, as we are doing bag number 13. And if I am correct, I think about one of the only things we are missing now is going to make use of those gray, or sorry, not the gray, the blue connectors on the side. And I believe we are starting on some cannons at this point. So we're going to start with this black piece here, and we're going to use a light green piece right on the end there. We are going to set that aside for a second. We're going to find this Bowser barcode. I'm not sure what this is for, and we're going to take this piece here, and we're just going to put our Bowser barcode on it. We are then, actually I'm just going to flip that around so that it's lining up with the way that this is showing it to go. We are going to put one of these brown pieces on there, or a tan piece I guess, and we are going to add this onto the back there. There we go. We're going to take some of these light green ones. We're going to put them on either side here, just like that. I am going to stop these from moving on me. And we're going to continue building out this piece here. We're going to grab our Z piece here and put it on like so. We're going to add some of these cream-colored wing pieces on either side, just like that. And we're going to build this down with some beige pieces on either side, like so. Then on top of that, we are going to add a bunch of green pieces. As well as one cream piece that will go along that entire stretch. Just like so. We are going to find two of these little angled pieces here. And they are going to go down in like so. And then another one on the other side. If I didn't know any better, I'd say that we are starting to build yet another Bowser head of some sorts, but we will see what happens as we continue building this. There we go. We are going to take this brown piece in the middle, and then one of these red square pieces next to it. Now, we need one of these pieces on that side, and there should be another one that we will put on the other side, just like that. We will build up either one of these sides. Oops. Actually put the pieces into place, and that will hold it there. And we'll take the other one and put it on the other side. Now, we're going to take this and put these very teeth-like looking constructs. And we're going to put them on either side with the big teeth actually on the outside. Like so. And then we are going to put this piece right in the middle there, like so. Standing this up, we are going to take one of these horn-like pieces on each side, just like so. And then we are going to add two red circular pieces as well as two white pieces. Like so. We're going to put two of these cream-colored circles on the front of that. And then we will put one of those as well as two of these rounded cream pieces on either side like that. We're going to finish it off with cream pieces coming around the front side on both of these. Just like that. And then putting one of those in the middle, as well as putting two of these, one on either side of those eyes like so. And then we're going to spin our ship around, and this is going to go right on the very back of the ship. I will show this off once I've got it in place, just so that you can see. So right on the very back side of our ship, we now have that Bowser spot that will tip out a little bit. Okay. Next. I think we're coming to the final pieces now. Alright. We're going to make 3 yellow pieces simply by taking our yellow and putting a black in the center, just like that. And we're going to do that 2 more times. I know that there are more than just 3 of these cylinders, so we're probably going to be doing 3 on each side, but we will at least follow the instructions thus far. So we're going to put those right on. I'll try and make this visible a bit. Right on the sides of the ship here, so that now there are 3 yellow cannons across the one side of the ship. We are now going to make 3 what I'm going to call Bowser panels. So we're going to take this, we're going to put the Bowser logo on it, and we're going to repeat that 3 times. And I'm going to assume that these are meant to act as the door coverings for the cannons, so that while the cannons are visible there, this is what, in theory, would hide them. Excuse me, if they were not perfectly visible. So yes, we're going to then clip these in there so that it acts as if the cannons had shutters covering them, except we all know the cannons aren't being covered. The cannons are very much being used. And that hopefully shows it off the way that people can see it. Perfect. Okay, we'll put that back down at the side again. And I think we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So I am just going to build these cannons same way we have been. And once we're done building the cannons, we will also just go ahead and build those coverings, and we will put them on. And then we will find out exactly what is left to do with this airship. I imagine we need to figure out how we incorporate those propellers into this. Okay, so now that we've made those, I'm just going to move these parts over a little bit, because I assume we still need some of those pieces a little bit. And we will just get everything caught up. I'm going to bring the ship back in here, and we will put the cannons on the other side of this airship, just like so. We will get it caught up on those shutters, because we need 3 of them. And then we will add those shutters onto the side of the airship. So now you should be able to see, if I bring this into the center, I think you should be able to see both of those sides. Okay. Yep, so we can see those. We can perfectly see that there are cannons. Now on both sides of this massive airship construction, and still if I pull this out, you can still see that the cannons are still intact. They are just separated. Okay, let's see what's left for this now. So we need our cylinder piece and a rig connector. And we are going to connect what looks like more mast pieces and rig connectors together. put a cone shape on the top of that. And of course, this will go right on the very front of our ship as sort of our front mast, which will aim slightly upwards. And there we go. All right. That was a massive build. So, this is probably going to take us back, and then we're going to figure out... Yeah, so this is the build I want to do next. I want to just see how we incorporate the current masts into our airship. Because let's be honest, we all want to see this airship in its entirety, not just a bunch of separate pieces. Okay, so we're going to take our airship construct, which we have. We are going to expand it out. Okay, we can do that. And we are going to take the center main mast. Okay, I'm going to have to move some things around here. And I'm actually going to take the extra pieces that we had, that we've been collecting all along, as they are clearly now nothing but extra pieces. And I'm going to move them over with all the other extra pieces. Okay, so we need to take this main mast here. I will try and pull that off. And we need it without the hand on it. And then it shows it goes down. And we are going to put that right down in the bottom of the ship here. Like so. Now, I'm curious, if I try and close this up, oh, look at that. We are going to be able to keep that intact by the looks of it. Okay. All right. Next, we are going to put the hand. It shows we're going to put the hand on there while it's down. And then we're going to close it back up. And a little bit of a tight fit, but we've got it there. So now we have that center one. And I'm just going to try and show this off as best I can. We have the center mast in there. We have the hand down in the middle. And we have closed the ship back up. We are now going to take the other mast. I'm just going to, oops. Apparently I'm going to pull the mast apart as opposed to pulling the platform pieces apart. And we are going to actually slot this one in right in the middle here, like so. And then these platform pieces are actually going to go on either side as sort of a structural integrity for keeping this together. So we won't actually be able to pull this apart while those pieces are there, but that will help the airship from falling apart. And then we just have our existing enemies, which we can put pretty much wherever we want on the actual ship itself. I'm just going to put our Goomba and our Monty Mole on either side. I'm going to put our Chemic up at the front of the ship. And then our cannon. Well, our cannon we will leave sort of off to the side here, because there's not too much we can do with him. That's that completed. I am going to do my best to try and show this off as best we can, because we're basically done with that now. So if we can, let's just try and tilt this to the side. And you should be able to see one of the sides there. I can't really describe just how massive this thing is. We will try and do the other side now. Just as a, here's what it looks like. I'm going to show off the front bow of the ship as much as I can. And then while I lose the Goomba's pirate hat, just put that back on his head. Let's try and show off the stern. Oh, okay, you know what? We'll just leave that off to the side. The stern of the ship as much as I can. It's hard for me to do this because it's actually gotten really large. But I'm going to try and sort of show off the pieces. So this is kind of our airship. I will absolutely be taking some pictures of this, and I'll be posting it on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook as much as I can. Feel free to check those out there. Yeah, I really appreciate everyone who's stuck with this build with me. It's been quite the adventure, and you know, it's also been about 3.5 hours, so I appreciate that. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I hope that this is, you know, something you might be entertained with in the future. Thanks again. Have a good day. Bye now.